So the RNC decided they were going to take a shot at this new congressman-elect. His name is Maxwell Frost, okay? I think I saw some articles that said this is the first Gen Zer in Congress. So congrats to him. That's amazing. That's awesome to make it there at this super young age. I mean, I remember when AOC was the youngest, but now Maxwell Frost is. So Maxwell Frost came out the other day and was like, I was just denied, an apartment because I have bad credit. And so I don't know what I want to do. Now look at how the RNC reacted to that fact. First, let's play the video here.
What's it going to be like up here? I mean, this is not cheap. You have to...
Yeah. I mean, it's not cheap. I'm dealing with it right now, getting denied from apartments, trying to figure out where to live because I have bad credit. Probably just going to have to, couch surf for a little bit.
What's it going to be like up here?
So he says, I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably going to have to couch surf, stay with my friends. So the RNC says, Florida Democrat Congressman-elect Maxwell Frost, whose salary as a member of Congress will be $174,000 a year, says he probably just going to have to, couch surf for a little bit. They're attacking him. They're making fun of him because he can't afford an apartment. Okay, people who are Republicans, average, run-of-the-mill, regular, Joes and Janes, take note of this. This is what they think of you if you're struggling, if you can't make rent, if you're having money issues. This is what they think of you. They think it's a moral failing on your part. That's what they think. Now, by the way, also, I like the point that Vosh made in response to this. He said, have you heard of the concept of linear time? So, he's going to make $174,000 a year. He doesn't make it right now. And he can't afford, the money up front that he needs for the apartment. And his credit hurts him. Okay, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is straight up poverty shaming. They are poverty shaming. And this gets to the core of that, right-wing ideology. Is they truly believe, I know it's laughable, but they truly believe we already live in a meritocracy. So the harder you work, the further you go, the people who are really wealthy or really famous, they earned it. They earned it. They're just better people. They're just more brilliant. They're geniuses. They're the hardest working. And if you aren't doing well, look in the fucking mirror. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. But, famous line from J.R. Jackson from back in the day. What if you ain't got no boots? What then? They'd still find a way to point the finger at you. And so, look, I think that this is an example of, people can relate to Maxwell Frost here. People have gone through money troubles. They've been, what do we have? 500,000 medical bankruptcies in this country every single year. We have 85 million people who are uninsured or underinsured. We have, billions of dollars in medical debt. We have a record amount of credit card debt at the moment. I think it's 985, billion, right? People are struggling. They are struggling. Especially now with inflation and their wages aren't keeping up and 63% living paycheck to paycheck. 63% of the country is living paycheck to paycheck. And these guys are poverty shaming a congressman. Now, if it's bad for him, imagine how bad it's going to be for, somebody who just works a 9 to 5. They're telling on themselves. They are telling on themselves here. But I need people to remember this. I need people who are average Joe and Jane Republicans to look at this and say, oh, so that's what you think of us? And by the way, hilarious, this is the party that fully embraces, Jesus and Christianity, bro. I'm all about Christianity, our one true Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And it's would Jesus poverty shame a young congressman because he can't afford a fucking apartment? He can't get an apartment? Is that what he would do? Anyway, it's amazing. Let's read some of the replies here because there's probably a bunch of fun ones. So this is the Vosh one I referenced. Are you aware of the concept of linear time? Great research, man. This is from Chuds of TikTok. I had no idea that you can get an apartment with no money down before you even get your first paycheck. You're disconnected from average Americans when you don't understand how renting works. Another person says, does it ever get tired being like this? Or does it ever get tiring being like this? Another says, party of the working people. I love that they willfully admit to being so out of touch. Every time I hear them say that they care about the middle class, this tweet will be there to remind us that they could care less. Somebody says, he's paid bi-weekly over 26 pay periods, right? He's not just given $174,000 up front before he starts working. It's just like a normal job. You've had normal jobs before, right? The answer to that is no. They probably haven't. Whoever's running that account almost certainly has not. That's the best you got? Slow news day, huh? Then we got, I'm going to save this graph for later because I'm going to talk about that in tomorrow's show. I'm going to ask my job to pay me my entire salary at the beginning of the year and see what they say, because apparently you think that is how it works. You guys are great at your jobs and should absolutely keep posting. A little sarcasm for everybody. Yeah, I mean, they really make it so that, they really make it so that they turn off regular people. And they're totally oblivious to it. They think like, no, we're fucking nailing this shit. We are nailing this shit. So I blocked some people here, other people I muted here. You guys know, I've talked about this before. I don't think I've ever blocked anybody on Twitter. I'm weirdly principled on that. Like, I think since I'm somewhat publicly known, you have like a right to see what I'm saying, even if you fucking hate me and even if you troll me and all that shit. So I never blocked anybody. But man, I'll mute the shit out of somebody if they ignore me. So anyway, or if they annoy me, not ignore me. Ignoring me is perfectly fine. In fact, I highly recommend people ignore me. Anyway, every intern is allowed to make a mistake. The one who wrote this, who has never made payroll before, we give you a mulligan. I don't. Anyway, all right. So you guys get the gist of it. I agree with the guy who said, keep posting. You're embarrassing yourself. You have no clue. You think you're nailing it. And it's a beautiful thing to see. If you want to see me and Crystal Ball interview legends like Noam Chomsky, Cornel West, and more, subscribe to Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack. $5 a month gets you the video version a day early. Remember, we take 0 ad dollars for this podcast. Or you can sign up on Substack for free and get the audio version a day later. Link in the video description box below.